something crazy. That's why I'm standing in front of a green screen here. Bruce is going to explain to you more about what's actually happening there. So Bruce is going to come up in just a minute and explain that and show you what we're doing here and what we hope to do a lot more of. But we have a great night planned. We have that. We have our friends from Noitom are here. Noitom, they are awesome. If you don't know, they make the perception neuron suit that you've seen people using in the various worlds. They also do Project Alice, which was widely said to be one of the best things at the SVVR 2016 conference, which is for out-of-home location-based VR, very professional system for large volumes, multi-user. And they also just unveiled at CES one of the first devices to use the Vive tracker, which is the high five glove that they're wearing. So they're going to tell you all about that in just a minute. They're awesome guys, but I also just wanted to say you know, this space, one of the things we're doing now that we have this space, we've traditionally not had sponsorship for the meetups. And we've had a little bit here and there, but for the most part we've had hosts. You know, a company will host us, but nobody's actually giving us money for the actual individual meetup. So with this space, we unveiled a new program, and we have ecosystem partners. So an ecosystem partner, we're going to have no more than 10 per year, and they are companies that basically become a part of this community. They chip in, they become sponsors of everything we do, basically, in our spaces, and partners, really. And we become a home base for them here and show stuff to the community. And so we're super excited that Noitom is our first ecosystem partner. So Noitom is let's give them a round of applause for that. They are supporting SVVR and making this possible. So thank you guys. This is awesome. This is really exciting for us. And we will be talking a lot more about the ecosystem partner program as the time comes. But right now, I am going to hand this over to CymaticBruce, the infamous CymaticBruce, who's going to tell you a little bit about what is going on with this screen here and why I'm standing up here in this weird space. So come on, Bruce.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll actually turn that off. Turn that off. We don't need that. All right. That's the bad light now. All right. Very good. The connection's not very good on this machine, but I'll kind of give you a taste of what the hell's happening here. So, as Karl has said before, we've been really trying to figure out a way, like, how can we start to bring these things that we do into VR in a more real way, and we've had a few options, and one of them is like, well, let's get whatever's happening in real life and try to just get kind of a hologram-ish version of that person into VR. So what we have going on here is, there we go. Let's see if it'll let me do this here.
So we probably have about 50, 60 people here in this room, but this is not everyone who's at this meetup.
So,
hello, Altspace.
Yes. So what's up, Altspace? So this is Altspace here. This other live stream is, that we got a good head of hair over there. That's great. Now Altspace is looking at themselves. There's a room full of people crowded up against the screen, probably because the microphone's not close enough. And this is what I look like in the green screen. I'm kind of a, yeah. So this is kind of the first step into getting a kind of a hologram representation of a person into Altspace. This is so weird. What if I do this? Mess up things even more. So this is kind of our first step, is essentially to have the client itself filter out the green screen. What the fuck? To have the client itself filter out. It's so great. Didn't have stage blocking there. Everyone just on stage having a party. Come up on stage. Altspace people, if you can hear me, come up on stage. Come up next to me. Give me hugs. Awesome. Yes. Oh, is people doing it? Yes. Yes. Awesome. So good. Yes. So there is a time delay with the communication, so I can't have instantaneous and direct communication with the people that are in VR yet. but this is the first step to getting a piece of real life and a window to it into virtual reality and vice versa. Now I'm surrounded by my friends. Yes, I love you all. I can feel your love across the interweb. So there we go. So right now it is very, very rough around the edges, as you can see. It's the first time we've tried something like this, but it does work in the PC client and on mobile, and it's kind of the first step toward trying to do something like this. The benefit is that the presenter or the speaker just has to do what the presenter or speaker normally does, which is walk up in front of the camera and be here, and they don't have to be in VR or have head-to-toe tracking, which could be pretty complicated when you're dealing with talent that's never seen or heard of this VR stuff you're talking about and has no idea how to use it. So just having a person step in front of a green screen, or maybe later just step in front of a 3D camera, could be really, really cool. So that's kind of what's going on. Do you have questions about this craziness that's happening here? Yes?
What do they see when they go behind you in VR?
When they go behind, the illusion is broken. So everyone, get off the stage. Get out. Get off the stage. Move. I'm trying to do a presentation. What are you doing? Move. It'll take a few seconds before they do this. So,
Who's that?
there we go. There we go. So what's happening? Let's see if they actually listen to me or not.
So you're just driving a camera around right now?
I'm driving an avatar around right now, actually. And I'm in the space. And so, actually, this is where the illusion breaks. You're like, oh, it's flatland. But what's really cool that even in 2D or in VR, if you're off the stage, and we've placed some items here to kind of get an illusion going, it's not kind of updating. Yeah, I think the internet's slowly having more and more problems here. When you're separated a certain distance from that 2D plane, then you actually, even in 3D and VR, it feels pretty good. This is the fun we have in AltspaceVR. Yeah, get down, baby. Who is that? You're identified to the world. All right, Ben.
Run away.
Everyone will remember you forever, Ben. Very good. Other questions about what's going on here? Oh my God, this is probably Ublik. Yes.
Meeting before last, there was a Microsoft lady demonstrating HoloLens, and she said, I thought there was going to be some workshops coming up. Did that ever happen, or will that be happening?
I'm not sure.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, John will give you an update on that.
Nice. Yes.
Is this WebRTC under the hood?
This is not even that. This is just a YouTube stream. This is
the
bare
next
bones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
To get the
but
latency
yeah, we're looking at some ways to get the latency down and really, like, yeah, if we can really get direct, that'll be freaking awesome. Yeah. Nice. Anything else? Questions? Inquisitions? Nice. Doing a dance on the stage, Patrick?
One small step for Avatar.
Yes. One small step. The compromise between. Oh, there I am, waving my booty. So there's a compromise between being an avatar in space and powering an avatar and having the visual representation of yourself. There's trade-offs with each. Virtual reality brings a sense of space and depth and physical representation, non-verbal communication, which is definitely hard to do in any kind of other types of digital communication. But if we want to say put on a play, this could be a really cool way to do it, especially if there's VR props scattered on the stage to enhance that play, right? So there could be some pretty interesting ideas here. Yeah.
Oh my God. I can all hear you, but can any of them have a voice, and is there a way for them to be talking?
Yeah, that's kind of what we'll be working. That's kind of the next step. Yeah, to get forward, because I mean I can hear through these earphones like what people are saying now, and like they're like, and there's stuff, everyone's talking. But yeah, that'll be the next step to try to get we have a projection of this room up there, and we have them like type to the PA so we can hear the virtual crowd as well as the real one. That'll be some real cool stuff. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, and for those of you not familiar, this is AltspaceVR. We're a platform for people to hang out together and do things in virtual reality. We have virtual events all the time. Every week there's something, and we also have lots of places you can hang out and play a game of Cards Against Humanity and crack up with people. So that's cool. All right. Sweet. Well, thanks everybody.
All right.
Thank you everyone who's watching in AltSpace. We can't hear you, but we love you. And also thank you to the AltSpace team for very last minute making this possible, because this is a little bit technically challenging, and yeah, we're just going to keep doing this and it'll get better and better. All right, so next up we have Noitom. So Roch, that's you? You're speaking, right?
Yes.
All right. All right, so we have Roch Nakajima from Noitom.
Woo! I get really plugged in.
There you go.
Karl, you can just paint that whole black wall green.
Yeah.
Paint the whole room green.
Yes.
From over there, but then just seating
You gotta paint the staircase green. That was really cool.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. I'm going to put this in
I need to speak louder.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, and thanks for SVVR for all the things they've done for us over the years. We were a startup as well, and granted we were a startup in China, but all the people at SVVR, including even Bruce over here, even Bruce,
Even me.
even people at AltspaceVR's channel over there, a whole bunch of people here, really been an amazing part of the community that helped us get to where we are today, which is really awesome, and we're probably the biggest supporters for SVVR and all the work that Karl, Nana, and his entire team, which is expanding now, is doing not only here in the US, but also overseas in Japan and other places.
Excuse me, could you use the microphone?
Oh, yes, sorry. Anyways, so today we're presenting, you might know us, is that good? Yeah. You might know us from Perception Neuron, full body motion capture suit, which we introduced about 2 years ago, and now have sold over 5,000 units. And last year we launched Project Alice, more of a large-scale virtual reality experience, social virtual reality experience. But this year what's exciting is we've been toying around with the idea of a consumer glove for a while. We're still not sure whether it's a viable product in terms of a business product, but who cares? Our engineers really like playing with things, and I'm not in charge, so I told them that's a bad idea and they should work on something else. And they said, no, we want to do this. So they made the Noitom Hi-Fi VR glove. So this is what I'm wearing on my hand right now. So the glove is actually just this part, and this is HTC's new tracker. That they launched at CES this year, and so we were one of the few partners with HTC that got the early prototypes of this, and we're allowed to use. So anybody who's not too familiar with HTC, the HTC Vive, it's basically tracking in three-dimensional space using the two lighthouses. So this gives you absolute positioning inside the space. And what our glove does is basically anchors the glove, and our glove is just using IMUs to position your hand and the finger movements in the space. So it's very much based on what we did with Perception Neuron. The technology is kind of the same. I'm going to shoot the little great video that really shows you nothing. Because we didn't have anything really at the time. I mean, we were literally rushing to do some kind of promo video before CES, so we did this really cool video. But the idea is basically, why use a hand as opposed to a controller? And I wasn't even convinced about that. And it's funny because what we did at CS, we had a whole bunch of people using the glove, and I'm about to explain to the person using the glove what to do and how to do it, and they're already doing it. Because as opposed to a controller where I still don't understand the A, B, triangle, and circle, and X when I pick up a PlayStation controller, everybody knows how to use their hand, and there's no learning curve. Even people that have never been in virtual reality were using this, and they start playing right away, touching things and doing incredible things with the glove. And I was like, wow, this kind of like debunks my vision of what this of doing a consumer glove. So yeah, it's an exciting product. If I give you a little bit of like, there's not much details right now on the specs on the glove because we're still adjusting a few things, even though we're hoping to commercialize it by April. But for the people that need a little bit more information, so we're using 5 sensors, 1 for each finger and 1 for the 6 sensors, sorry, 1 for each finger plus 1 for the hand. They're IMU sensors. IMU sensors, for people that are not familiar with that, is the same kind of sensor that's inside your phone. So it's an accelerometer, a gyroscope, and a magnetometer. We're outputting at 90 frames per second, 90 hertz. So what you're getting into the software is 90 frames per second. The biggest problem with IMUs is the magnetometer. The magnetometer gets affected by any kind of magnetic field, like microphone, headphones, and everything like that. So in these new IMUs that we're using, the magnetometer is constantly recalibrating itself. So you won't have a problem having to recalibrate afterwards. With the addition, of course, because we're kind of agnostic to what absolute positioning system you're using. So in this case, we're using the HTC tracker, but it could be any other positioning system. For example, in our project Alice, we're using this glove, but using an optical IMU hybrid tracker. So literally, you can just change whatever you want to do if you want to have that exact positioning in space. But you do need an absolute positioning system combined with this. It's plug. We really want design because the rule was this, if this is going to be a consumer product, it's got to be plug and play, right? And consumers have zero tolerance, as opposed to most of us here, have zero tolerance for having to learn something. So even now we're thinking about some of the calibration requirements that we're saying. I mean, anybody who set up an HTC Vive, you go to the room calibration and do all these things. Most consumers, they just want to pick up a PlayStation and turn it on and start playing. So there's still a lot of issues as to whether a consumer glove would be viable. We also did a system, so for example, the glove comes with a dongle and it has its own communication system on 2.4 gigahertz. So we're trying to simplify as many aspects as possible. So you just put the dongle inside the computer and right away your glove should work. It does, actually. Everybody's asking haptics. Haptics is really difficult. For now, we just have a rumbler inside the wrist. So that's controllable by the SDK. I already talked about the frequency. We are having some issues with that, but we're working on testing some other things. Power-wise, it's important to understand that the tracker itself from Vive is powered by its own internal battery. And because we were designing this as well as something that we want to be able to use in a commercial setting, we simply just put a AA battery inside, so you can just recharge it and put a new one in. The problem with this is if you need to take it out, once it's out of batteries, you have to take it out and charge it, and you can't use it. So we wanted something that was continuous use. So our engineers sometimes have a lot of the times have very good ideas. Sometimes the simplest ones are the best. So we have an SDK. We will have an SDK in a couple of weeks. It's going to be Unity, UE, Unreal Engine 4, and C++. So open for anybody to develop applications for that. And of course, it's 2 hands, which you'll see over there. When Alex does the demo. Are you ready? Because I can put it on that.
Yep. Go ahead.
I just need to push the source button.
This is a sandbox demo that our engineers made. So what I'm going to do right now, you can kind of see my hands already in space, pretty close together, thanks to the tracking from the HTC Vive. As Roch said, we're trying to make it.
No.
What?
There you go.
Oh.
Cool beans.
So, really intuitive, like Roch was saying. Hands need no explanation. Right away, if you interact, you don't need explanation. There's no manual for how to use your hands. Very simple. Pick up, interact. If you want to build, just start building. Grab the objects around you. Have fun. That's the whole point. VR shouldn't be complicated. It should be as simple as possible. If I want to pick a paddle, if I want to bounce a ball, I should be able to bounce it. If I want to go ahead and build a target, I should be able to come back. Oh, I disconnected myself.
Whoa.
I unplugged myself.
Danger, Will Robinson.
You can still see kind of slow. Gotta restart Steam VR. That's why we need backpacks.
Yeah, we actually have backpacks. Everybody will can go and try it. Let me just go back. You can restart it while we're doing this. One of the things with the glove is we're also working on 2 degrees of motion on the fingers. So that's one of the really hard parts when you have multiple IMUs close to one another. You get a lot of magnetic field. So you can actually turn it on. I was going to show you that there'll be crash there. But you can do it in the game. Anybody who wants to see, being able to do, you can now, as opposed to before. What else did we put on this? They put this together in 3 weeks. So we're still working on other types of calibration to get even better accuracy with it. But again, price-wise, we want to be under $300 for the pair of gloves. That's easily accomplished, but it does not include this. So we don't know how much this is going to cost yet because HTC has not said how much this is going to cost. But we kind of have to sell our glove independent of the thing. So under 300, maybe 250 for the pair of gloves on this. That's still very high for a consumer product. But again, is there a consumer market? I mean, anybody who wants to convince me otherwise? Now, what's interesting is talking to Altspace and for gaming. We talked to the Sony people. We talked to all the different people. For gaming, there is a huge potential for a glove if it's perfect. And I was talking to Jeff yesterday from Sony, and he was saying there's no in a game if you're going to hold something and let go of it and it doesn't drop and you lose the game because of that, you're going to be really upset. So games don't really allow. They really need a very accurate glove. Well, to make a very accurate glove is going to cost a lot more money. But for social interaction, we all talk with our hands. I'm doing it right now. You can't talk with your hands using controllers. It's not natural. If you're in VR, you're going like this, like, hey, not like Italian, hey. But with your hands, it's completely natural. And it doesn't have to be very accurate, It's got to be very accurate, but it doesn't have to be pinpoint perfect accurate. So we got to, I think at the level at which we are, I think it's already good enough. So that might be a very interesting thing, And as opposed to other things like VR, we don't have problems of you can have your hands anywhere. You can play social games. Actually, our demo is for 2 people, but we didn't set up a second computer so you can throw balls at each other and whatnot. One of the other really difficult things about gloves is the actual interaction between your hand and an object. So when does an object know whether you're holding it or letting go of it? And so these are still things we're working on. We got to a point where I think it's pretty good, but it needs still needs more. We're not, as humans, we're not very forgiving on those things in VR. So that's about it. So please try it out. And I thought he was going to do something really bad. People watching. Kids here. Please try it out, and if anybody has any questions, please go ahead. If not, you know. Thanks for, yes.
So I assume we're using Bluetooth to transmit data out of their gloves,
Yes.
or something in the 2.4. And so we're getting telemetry data from the fingers, right? And it's bound to a controller.
Yeah.
This tracker. You know, so I assume you have to. There's some setup to say tracker 4269 goes with my left glove, or tracker. Some way of setting that.
Yeah, that's done with on SteamVR in our case.
Okay.
You have to that's kind of what's controlling it on that side.
Okay. And the other thing is, since this is written in Unity, I'm assuming you're going to have a Unity SDK.
Yes, Unity and Unreal. Unity and Unreal.
Okay.
Yeah. Unity's done before Unreal,
Okay.
as always, because we have a big Unity team. So that's going to be available in 2 weeks. Okay. Yes.
So with the actual Vive controllers, you have button, you've got the trigger, you've got all the menu buttons and things like that. How do you have any of that along with this, or is there any way of doing any?
We can build. I mean, in Unity, you can build a lot of the trigger buttons. Like right now, for example, those buttons are on his hand. You know, so you can do whatever you want on that side. The Vive the Vive part is just the tracker. That's what HTC is making right now. It's just a tracker. It doesn't have any of the push buttons and things like that. Yeah. Anyone else?
That's not tilt brush. What is it?
Oh, we just built that ourselves in there, just to test it out. So yeah, when you get into the game, that's the only part that needs explanation. Is on your left hand, you'll have 2 controls. Can you show your left hand? Your other left hand. Oh yeah, sorry, your left hand. Sorry.
More left hand.
More. So just touch that, and it'll turn on the colors, whatever. And then to paint, you use your right hand. You pinch your right hand, and you can paint. And then with your left hand, by increasing or decreasing the amount of space, you make a different size. Mm-hmm.
Does that come with the glove?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're improving this sandbox. Obviously, this is, like I said, we rushed to get it done in 3 weeks, and you can do a lot of fun stuff with that.
That's how I feel for you.
So yeah, please afterwards play around with it. Thank you.
I don't know if you can say, will your dongle burn up a USB 3.0 port? Is USB 3.0 going to be a requirement?
No, it's not. We're not using 3.0. It's 2.0.
2.0.
Yeah.
And will you have a program in place for people that would like to integrate this into their projects?
Yes.
SDKs.
Yes. So right now we have 7 worldwide right now, and I have 2 pairs. And HTC is trying to take all of ours, which we put on the roadshow. So okay, that's the other thing too, is they're redesigning the glove. I complained that the glove was too bulky. But for B2B, like if let's say I'm Disney World and I want to put people through a VR experience, I need something that's really solid. And they're only going to be in it for like 5-10 minutes and then be done. So I need something that's going to hold up to just from the fabric point of view. But for a consumer, this is like, it's cold here, but trust me, where we're in Miami, you wear this for like 5 minutes and your hand is like sweating. And it's disgusting. So they're simplifying and making it a lot lighter. You'll be able to see it. It's still a work in progress.
In the meantime, how quick could I get my hands on this to start integrating it?
We are not going to get any units that are for developers until end of March because of the redesign. I wish it was otherwise because I have a lot of people that need to start playing around with it, including Altspace and some other folks, but they just don't have it. So it's like the balloon guy.
I wish I could come out shoot
So yeah, as soon as we have a website. It's hi5VR glove.
Yeah, hi5vrglove.com.
Or Noitom has them.
Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.
So any plans for Bluetooth connection to phones?
Yes.
Yes. So of course, yeah, if this works with Daydream or anything like that, it makes a lot. You still need a positioning system, you know. And right now, mobile does not have a very reliable positioning
So
system.
just the IMU.
Yeah, but then you're just kind of like a hand in space. You still need something to anchor to move it. So the only way to do that is to add another sensor up here, which is our original design. We actually sell the product that we kind of like gave up on. If you go, I think how much is the glove online?
$149.
Yeah, $149. We have.
Actually, I think it's $100 right now.
Really?
$99. Yeah.
So it's one of our original designs. It's using perception neuron, and we did only 3 sensors on here because with IKA we just nobody uses this. It was like, oh, who's going to do this in the game? Well, some people said we really want that. That's why we have 5. so it's 3 sensors, one on the hand, one on the wrist, and one on the arm. What that allows you to do is to using the IKA to be able to like know where your arm is in space. But if you just have the hand, then it's just this in space. There's no data to position it vis-a-vis where your face is. So those are limitations. Yes, sir.
You talk to the Angular people, and there be any problem using your systems together?
No, I mean it's going to be an open system for people to develop whatever they want to develop on there. So yeah, no, I'll welcome anybody to like play around with it once we get it off the ground. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. To the AltspaceVR crowd. Hope you're not doing anything molesting me. Being molested.
All right, thanks. That was awesome. Yeah, I just keep an eye on these guys. They've had 3 amazing things in a row over the past few years, and yeah, everything they're doing is amazing. So we'll keep an eye on, and we'll help you keep an eye on because they're now an ecosystem partner, so they'll be a lot more engaged in our community. So we want to make sure everyone has enough time to actually try the gloves tonight. So we don't have much more presentations. John is going to say a few words, and then we're going to do community announcements. So let's hear for John Oakes.
John Oakes. Where's Altspace? Hey, Altspace. What's happening? Hey, so welcome everybody. I'm super pumped about this meetup, this space. We've had a lot of fun moving in, getting it all set up. I think you're gonna see us do a lot more different things, a lot more focused things in the coming year. I want to tell you a little bit about that. But just as a note, if you have a community announcement, start getting yourself together. Come up over here, and we'll like pipe you through when I'm done talking. But it'll be just a couple minutes. So we have already, we moved in the middle of last month, and we're just now. Thank you for helping us break it in and making us a hub for the VR community. We are going to be doing a lot more targeted meetup style gatherings, maybe around certain subject matter, developer focused, content creator, video, certain industry verticals, and really let the community kind of like start to come together in working groups. That also means things like classes and training for VR developers who are already developers, or people who want to become developers or want to hone their skills or network with other developers. We've already done some pilot classes here just to kind of like see what works, how the space fits. Gotten some really good results from that. We're also going to do events, launch events for companies that have a product. If you're launching a game or an app or a piece of hardware like a glove, you can contact us and we'll make our
And we always say that audio is 50% of a product, but most people don't give it much thought. I think it's actually more than 50% because I'm a long-time audio guy, and I've watched so many projects underestimate the importance of audio. So what this does is it's a special microphone. These things, you can buy them, but currently they cost anywhere north of $1,000. I'm aiming to do something which will cost less than 50 by the time it's in production. It's already, this is a 3D printed device. It uses capsules from China, and all the electronics it won't look like this. I call it Gaudi because I like Gaudi, and it looks pretty on the 3D design. It might end up painted like that, I don't know. But anyway, what I can show you at the table over here is a complete working system, captures spatially. The idea is not to do what those guys like Dolby and DTS do so well. I'm more interested in the capture. So if you're a videographer, you're trying to generate content, it's really hard to do this. And if you just look at the kind of tools that are out there at the moment, you really have to have a PhD or you have to be some kind of real geek to do it. So I'll show you how to do it a lot more easily. Come stop by later.
Good evening, SVVR! Woo! This is SVVR number 37. This is the 8th straight time Enflux has been here. For those of you who don't know, I'm Mickey, co-founder of Enflux, and we make motion capture clothing for everyone. So this is IMU sensors, just like the Noitom guys are using in their gloves. Those are awesome gloves. And I love, a lot of the things they said. Stuff resonating to me was how simple it has to use to be a consumer product. And that's what we're going for too. So this is a shirt and pants with little tiny sensors built inside. You don't even know they're there. And that's a little 3D character of me. Not the VR version, that's kind of the AR kind of mirror version of myself there. And I'm just moving around and I've got clothes on. So,
we're glad.
Woo! So 2 really exciting events coming up. And I've got my laptop here to just show you the flyers, because they're cool flyers. We have a workshop coming up. This is Monday, February 13th at Upload VR. And it's a workshop our VP of Software Experience, Russell, is hosting on creating full-body experiences in virtual reality. So this is a great chance. We're going to bring Enflux suits there, 3 hours of, food, drinks, working with the Enflux SDK. And that's part of Developer Week in San Francisco, which is a very large 8,000 person conference, all sorts of stuff going on. We'll have an expo there, a booth at the expo, which is the 14th and 15th, the Tuesday, Wednesday. Then the really exciting event, even more exciting, is our hackathon, the future of sports technology. So these clothes, you can play VR games with them, connect to the Vive, connect to the Oculus. You can also wear these clothes to yoga class, to the weight room, to the golf course. And our clothes connect to sports applications for you to track your workouts, track how your whole body's moving. So creating the future of sports technology, if you want to be a part of it, you can check out our website, getenflux.com, and sign up and create some really cool sports applications with Microsoft and Enflux. All right, thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike from AMD, and I'm making this announcement for Jeremy Lamb, who I don't think is here. So he's hosting, or has an event called Virtual World Arcade, and they happen to be hosting it at AMD April 3rd. And the purpose of this is for people that have hardware, software, content that might be used in an arcade-like VR setting.
Could
So
you speak into the microphone, please?
Yeah, if you're interested in that, look at Virtual World Arcade online. Just Google that. Okay? Or you can talk to me afterwards.
Cool.
All right, one more? Last one?
Yeah.
All right, real quick.
Hi, my name is Karl with Rise Angle, and we are creating VR games. Our first game, Maze VR Ultimate Pathfinding, we released it for Gear VR 15 days ago. It's a simple exploration game. So, but if you love pathfinding or mazes or exploration games, you're gonna love it. It's been like in top selling in the 50 and 60, somewhere between that for the first 15 days. So try it out. If you loved it, give us a 5-star rating. That's it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sweet.
All right, everybody.
Final thing, yeah.
Okay.
I'll
Go ahead.
All right, and the final thing, SVVR 2017 is coming. Do not forget. March 29th through 31st. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be our biggest event yet. We think it's going to be, once again, the most VR companies in one place anywhere in the world ever. So don't miss it. March 29th through 31st, vrexpo.com, or just follow the links from SVVR. And now it is demo time, so enjoy. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Altspace. Right on. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, you jumped up.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Oh, I forgot about that. So Liv.
That was great.
Actually worked.
It
worked awesome.
Basically told him.
You are a hologram, Mike. You are a hologram, dude. Where's the camera? Yeah.
That's funny. You want to write? You got the loophole. He's got drive. We got to get him that.
Definitely. Camera's blocked.
How are you? I've been trying to come down here because I live in Marin. I work out of Upload. I've been trying to come down here for many events. And so I'm psyched to finally make it down here.
Were you on? Okay. Were you on one of Kent's podcasts recently?
No, I was on.
Okay. Sorry, I'm mixing up the names then.
Oh yeah, no, I was on. Actually, I did a couple of.
Oh, that's where I've seen your name. Okay, that's where I've seen your name. Okay. Yeah, I saw the names coming through, and as the talks are coming in.
Enterprise events.
Yeah, man, I think it's good, man. We have this kind of set up where you guys have people in your lives there.
Bridging the gap, but primarily focused on, my clients are mostly enterprise companies that talk to developers who are building in VR.
Yeah. We're always looking for great enterprise applications. You know, John and I both come from an enterprise background.
Yeah, so I ran enterprise at Motion. I demoed last night at TEDx Marin. Really talked about they keep saying, like, what are you selling? I said, I'm not selling anything. I just want you to understand that this can help your business by applying what they did. So, yeah, I'd love to talk to any developers who want to do any kind of an enterprise meetup. I'd love to be involved.
Right. Yeah, we always have a very enterprise element to everything we're doing, especially our conference.
I'll make it my
Sorry, 1 second. Let me just.
So Asant isn't here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have somebody take the mixed reality.
Yeah, let him have it. Make sure they're not wearing sharp boots.
Crazy experiments. It'll be better next time, I think. This was very non-ideal lighting conditions, and kind of last minute we actually got it working, so we want to take it a shot. But awesome. Thanks for checking it out, and watch the next one. See you later, people in Altspace. Bye. Bye.
Yes. You just didn't sign off, so we're taking the green screen away. Yes. All right.
I wanted to talk to you. I'm sitting on a plane, and I'm actually a guy that I think you really benefit from. He's here, but maybe lost us. Anyway, we have the 3D. So there's a really, it's got better work. 3D radio, like 3D, or body mixing, or VR mixing, or 360. Well, it's very, very motivated. So this setup that you guys have, like what software can you use? I mean,
it's just
like
OBS and YouTube. Yeah, it's very generic right now.
So he does support white screen background and green screen. Hopefully he's going to use white background. You don't have to have clear screen.
Yeah. For the background subtraction, what company are you with? For
Deepin.ai.
Yeah, okay. Cool. Yeah, that's definitely. I forgot my card. You have a card?
This guy's cool. I know he's
yeah. I'll have to break some stuff down.
Everyone
Our game has made
for my event. Oh, wow, that's great.
On upcoming Wednesday. All right, yeah, we'll stay in contact. I'm not sure if I'll be available for that. It'd be great. Yeah, this is all just brand new for us. So, yeah. Actually, on LinkedIn.